Hello and welcome back to the Guns and Glory show. I'm next to the cabin and Derek's working on making a yard for me, getting that tree stump out of the way. And discovering random pieces of junk in the yard, like a bottle of turpentine that still had turpentine in it. That was funny. All that stuff goes in the cabin. I've got so much stuff going on right now that's it's insane. I'm being paged. Sorry, I had to take a little break to deal with that stump. But now we're making some good progress with getting the yard. We got to take the layer of roots and plant matter off the top, and then dig a ditch around it and push the dirt back up and smooth it out. And it'll be the rest of the day and probably tomorrow doing that. Then we get back on the range and my neighbor's road. But we got the gas line people coming in tomorrow, and they're going to drop the lines, so we need to have all this foundational work kind of out of the way before they get here. I got to get back to work on the fort. Derek's back there just busily building a backyard. I've got about, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 hours on one of those things. He's probably got 2,500. And I got a deal on it. I got all this excavation work, the road, the range, the trenching, all of this for, well, originally 1,000, but I basically gave him 1,500. That should have another decimal place on it if you want to be realistic about this type of work. So I am forever grateful. Besides, it's fun. And we're back out here right now. Keeping track of all these little video clips to stitch a couple of videos together is going to be a pain in the rear. But I've got so many projects running right now, like I can complain.
How do you feel about a pond?
A pond?
I'm in the water table already. It's probably going to fill up.
Well, I kind of wanted a pond. I mean, it does that in the spring anyway with the snow melt, and it just kind of goes away. If it's fixed around, I'll just have to get more mosquito control.
I'm just looking at how this is. If I just keep shifting over, the back side will be round, and then the front will be perfectly flat.
Works for me.
So you can literally walk up. You'll have a fence and a fucking pond.
That's what I was. Come on, this is going on YouTube.
Huh?
This is going on YouTube. Watch your mouth.
Fuck it. What's up, YouTube?
I'll just play.
Make sure you
I think
monetize this video for my friend.
I think this is a great idea.
All right.
I really do.
Yeah, because the way this is coming up, I think I got enough here to slide it right back.
And
then it should grade out pretty nice.
Some net just hit me in between the eyes.
Good thing you got two of them.
All right, man.
All right.
Anyway, looks like I can get in the pond. Cool. Okay, slight change of plans. We're gonna bring this around like in a crescent shape, because where I'm standing, we got to go down about 15 feet, 12, 15 feet to get to the water, and it's just too much time and moving too much material for the time that we have. Eventually, I might make this a horseshoe later like I thought, and then build a little bridge like over it behind the cabin. That'd be really neat. Sometimes a project just evolves. It takes itself in a different direction. It's pretty dark when we got finished last night. I've still got to bring up some more dirt in this area because it's still too low. So we'll just push it back in this direction. We got done last night. It's starting to get pretty dark. And then we realized we forgot to dig the gas line. So we had to do that. By the time we finished, there were too many mosquitoes out and it was too dark to see. So I didn't really get a chance to get back here. Have a look, see what was going on. Yeah, I kind of like that. I wanted the moat here, but we needed the escape route over here, I guess. I had a good enough opportunity to put it in, and then I realized how high we are off the water and what it would take to get a moat all the way around this thing. However, we are going to dig around there. So we got dirt for that side. And I guess we'll have two little crescent-shaped lakes on this side of the cabin. That works out. Well, I got to get this stuff already. It'll be the land of rakes and rocks for several weeks. I've done it before, and you couldn't even tell. So we'll do it again. Well, we got this pond. And to fill it up, we got that smoothed out over there. We dragged the canal all the way over to this point. We couldn't go all the way around the thing because the plumbing has to exit that way. Oh well. Well, the excavator is gone, and I got to put the yard back together. It's pretty rough. I wish we would have had another day with that machine, or I wish we would have a small tractor or something. Maybe like a skid steer. But this part didn't get done. I'm genuinely irritated about that. And I would have hoped that he graded the road out better. I've got so much work to do by hand, and it's kind of a hard thing for me to do. But we'll get it. That's one way to get the grass and the weeds out of your driveway, huh? But there is not one part of this place, my yards and the driveways, with the exception of behind the garage right there, that hasn't been touched or dug up. Or, you know, you can see it. But we'll get it put back together a little bit at a time. First thing I came back and after I got my truck is collect all the trash, then get the pop cans out. Now I've got a whole bunch of stuff that's headed back to Menards that was from the plumbing drain and vent that we don't need. And I've got a lot of work to do. I've been picking up the yard, putting that pile of stuff away over there, and just trying not to get overwhelmed, really. It's a lot. And hopefully that thing can become a pond someday. I'll have to hook it up to solar. I'm not paying just to have a pump running. I don't have that kind of money. But we got the concrete in. It was kind of a rush job. People were in a bad mood and they're tired, and it honestly looks like crap. But I did tell them that it didn't have to be that meticulous because I'm putting a floor in on top of it. So we'll get to that. I've got to build the top for that, and I forgot to put the service wire, the other service wire, through that box into the substation, doggone it. And I guess I'll have to just do it with a conduit. What a pain. I've got a lot of dirt here. It's too high, but that's okay. I got a few spots in the yard that are too low, and I'll have to just wheelbarrow it or trailer it over there. Put the gate here. I've started fixing up the yard on this section. Started setting those fence posts. But I have got my hands full. And I tell you what, I'm grateful. And I'm losing weight. I finally got under 200 pounds. I never thought I'd see that day again. And I'm stronger than I've been in a while, so it's kind of good. I got all my fence posts set. After all this landscaping, I guess you'd call it. I'm about to roll out the fence, but I think I'll do it later. I'm hot. And I got the gate placed over here. A little side drive over that away, but it's a little tight. I'm gonna get an excavator for a weekend next year. Kind of finish all this stuff up. A little walkway out there by the septic field. Anyway, and this stuff picked up little bit by little bit at a time. Okay, I got the front yard part of the cabin done. And this side yard is done. Ready for grass. And this whole section back here is done up to, well, you can see the ridge. Dirt's too high. I want that to slope down and out into that ditch. And we never did get the ditch done on that side. Ran out of time. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get the money to rent another one of them machines and finish this up, as well as finish up the tail end of the range, which I'm sure will flood. I had the water line clearly marked and was basically ignored. So I've got a lot of dirt to move by hand here because I want this tunnel thing to be the high point. And I've got to drop those fence posts probably up to about a foot. This part of the yard's finished, and this one's done up to the point where the fence takes a jog to the left, except that I got to pull all these rocks. I suppose I'll use those to fill in that trench, which is what I'm going to work on now, blend that from the yard into that trail. Well, I've got that section outside the fence done, except for that little lump, which amounts to about 3 wheelbarrows. I find if you chop this into sections by just cutting a level line, not level, but level for what you want, may in fact be a slope from one point to another, and then just break it up into chunks, you can make a nice even taper wherever you need it. In front of the cabin, getting these rocks all placed. And later on, I'll ask myself why when I've got the weed whacker in my hand. It's September 11th, 2024. I've spent the day with the wheelbarrow and a shovel and a rake, restoring this yard, making wonderful progress with it. Filling in low spots that I've been wanting to deal with for a long time. It's easier to walk on, easier to cut the grass, and it looks better. I put about a dozen wheelbarrow loads right in there. Making sure the path is nice and flat. I like the layout here better too. I'm not touching that driveway until Friday, the 13th, when that excavator gets here, because this is just such a mess. But it won't be too bad. I'll be able to rough it up. It's compacted, you know, from driving on it and walking on it. But I'll be able to rough it up and then rake it out. This area over behind the Camaro was really low and it would fill with water, so I'm trying to eliminate that. And this area in front of me is a little bit too high, so I'll probably shove it over there towards that dog because it's really low over there. Dumped a bunch of gravel over here to fill this in because it was just the yard before, and now it's a little better for driving. And I haven't touched this section yet because, well, I've messed with it a little bit. I haven't finished it yet because I'm bringing the excavator across here. I've got a couple of orange flags placed here and there, and I'm going to put a rock there from out back. So I'll have a nice little place to sit there at the corner of the cabin. And this crossway up here, I'll have a nice marker. I've got a flat rock back there for that one. Anyway, we're making progress. Oh yeah, and I'll get to dig a hole and bury that because somehow we overlooked it last time. But anyhow, like I said, we're making progress. Things are looking better around here and don't feel quite so overwhelmed. Looking forward to getting that machine here in a couple of days. Finish up the range, and I gotta move the culvert. I don't know why that should have been obvious where it should have been, but it's not where it should be. It will be this time next week. Take care. I got the yard as far as I can take it with the excavator. Ain't that bad. It's just a small section, and I can fill up these low spots with the sand behind the cabin. I think I'm coming to understand why Poppy was growling at that machine. And maybe the little guy was right. He sure is a good dog. Where'd he go? There you are. Hi. Next to the trailer, getting this yard filled in a little bit. I got that thing out. I got the air conditioner out. It's sitting over there by that rock. And before I cut that post off, I thought, you know, I got a 10 gauge wire right there. That's going into the side of the cabin, right over there. So if I run power back through here, I could just put an outlet, maybe a light bulb out here. So I'm gonna. And we got this outlet behind the trailer now. That'll come in handy. You never know when you're gonna need something like that. May 19th, 2025, I'm back on the yard project, putting it back together before the grass grows. I had to put an outlet in the pump and bury that line along with the ground wire, get it hooked up to power, and when I turned it on, I discovered I had a broken coupler under the sidewalk area, so I had to dig that all out and fix it. Whatever, it's good to get it now before I pave it, if I ever get the money for it. And I also connected power to that outlet that's behind the trailer and the one that goes over to the shipping container area. Right now I've got the wheelbarrow sitting over by the fence, and I'm about to start bringing dirt over here to finish this up. After that, I just got to do the area that's around the whole trailer and around by the shipping container, and then right by the sewage ejection pump next to the garage. And this place is fine. All you really got to do is grab the dirt from over there, put it in the wheelbarrow, and dump it out in the low spots, and then rake it out with that steel rake. It's just time consuming, but it's really good for you, especially after been sitting inside for months waiting for the snow to melt.